In this first screencast, I'll draw out some of the most important areas for you to explore in your wider reading for this lecture. In it, we looked at two theories of career management, matching theories and socialisation theories. In your assignment, you're asked to look at two theories, and we will explore more in later sessions. So firstly, we considered what are known as trait matching or just matching theories. There are many different variations on these, but they all operate on the same basic principles, that there is a job that you're best suited to and you just need to find it. Parsons, way back in 1908, was one of the first to articulate this idea, stating that occupational choice occurs when people have an accurate understanding of their individual traits, for example, personal abilities, aptitudes, interests, things like that. That is to say, they know themselves, and that they have a good enough knowledge of jobs and the labour market, that is to say, they know what is available, and they can then go ahead and make a rational and objective decision. However, are people rational? Do they make decisions in a rational way? There are many reasons why they may not. They may value non-rational methods, for example, going with their instinct over rational methods. They may not be able to collect and process the required information, or they may be overly influenced by hot knowledge. Hot knowledge is information gained anecdotally, and we explored some of these ideas. In practice, though, career practitioners have used this trait matching approach, helping individuals be more rational in their choices. For example, Roger's 7-point plan was very popular, though we might consider many of the elements he considered vital as not relevant to work nowadays and perhaps not politically correct or discriminatory. We also briefly discussed the subset of trait matching models which group people into personality types. Holland's is the most famous and widely used of these, despite the criticisms of this approach. Some of the main challenges to this approach, or one of the main challenges to this approach, is that people engage in job crafting. People and jobs change. Matching models of career assume that people and workplaces are relatively stable so that you can match them up coherently. However, we at least need to consider the wider political and social context of workplaces if using this approach, and we might question whether it's possible to actually understand this before you join any given organisation. So how useful is this for career planning purposes? And another criticism is, what about chance events? We also briefly mentioned Mitchell and Crumbolt's theory of planned happenstance, and we'll be coming back to look at that specific career theory in more depth in a later session. Suffice to say at this stage that this approach provides some challenges to the matching theories, as it recognised the importance of chance events in individuals' careers. And finally, we turn to socialisation theories, and we will explore these more in Career Success 1. At this stage, we just need to introduce the idea of socialisation theories. The key underlying principle to socialisation theories is that individuals are led to particular careers by their early experiences, and actually they have little or no control over their choices. Socialisation theories argue that though we may feel we have choices, actually the decisions are already made and they're constrained by the frameworks or schema that we already hold in our head that are developed by our early experiences. So we can only operate within these limitations. Bandura himself wasn't a career theorist, but it's a useful starting point for you to begin exploring the idea of socialisation before you look at some specific articles looking at socialisation theories in relation to career. I hope you found this short summary useful, and I'll see you at the next session. Thanks for listening.